Láǹkan sí mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, wherever you're watching, and I say welcome once again to our morning program as we continue the conversation. A tún lọ sórí Starr Radio báyìí. Mo kí wa pé ẹ káàárọ̀, ṣe dáadáa la jí bá gbogbo ilé. Ẹni bá náà ní dé, ẹ̀yin là ní máa bá o. Torí àwa máa dé ní gbogbo ìgbà. Kọ́lọ́ bá wa tẹ́ bá mi ṣe kò tẹ́ sáfẹ́fẹ́ rí. Ara iṣẹ́ tí Nàìjíríà ń ṣe náà nìyẹn. Bó ṣe ń pọ̀ ọmọdé ló ń pa àgbàlagbà. Kò lójútì, Nàìjíríà ò lójútì, kò mọ̀ pé èèyàn kan ọmọdé ni, kò mọ̀ pé èèyàn kan àgbàlagbà. Ẹni tó bá rí ó là mọ́lẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa pé ẹ ṣe jẹ́ ká fi Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀. Nàìjíríà, bí a bá ń wo problem tó wà ní Nàìjíríà, a lè solve ẹ̀. So kí la wá ń try láti fi maintain ẹ̀ fún? Kí lẹ fẹ́ maintain tí kò lè ṣiṣẹ́, kò dẹ̀ ready láti ṣiṣẹ́ anyway. So in tó máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu ni pé àwọn tó ṣì ní kẹwàá lọ vote ní 2023 pé tá bá ti vote yẹn ó máa fún wa ní good government, pé leadership problem la ní Nàìjíríà. Ẹ̀rín akọ̀ máa pa mí nígbà míì tí yẹn bá tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ táwọn kan bá ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣiṣẹ́ ìrò pé leadership problem la ní Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó problem tó wà ní Nàìjíríà ó ju leadership problem lọ. Kọ́lọ̀ gbé Obama wá kó wá ṣe ní president Nàìjíríà ó máa fail ni. Torí pé a kì í ṣe lédè kan náà. So gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ máa ń sọ pé ẹ fi fix Nàìjíríà. British lẹ́ ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn. Torí pé agenda Britain ni pé kí Nàìjíríà kó ṣì remain as one country. Agenda tí wọ́n ní àwọn kíní kan Britain. Nàìjíríà ò bá pín kò bá má pín, tó bá pín British ló ń favour, kò favour aráàlú náà. So ìwọ tó ń sọ pé àwa tá ń campaign fún self determination àmọ́ tá ń sọ, àwa mọ́ tá ń sọ. Because we know that Nigeria will never work and there is no need for us to live in denial. Ká máa sọ pé Nigeria máa ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹ fẹ́ máa fi wá máa play kite every 8 years. Nigeria máa ṣiṣẹ́. Nigeria máa ṣiṣẹ́, Nigeria máa ṣiṣẹ́. Orí yẹn la wà láti 1960 títí di 2022. Inú ẹ̀ àwọn kan dolówó rẹpẹtẹ. Wọ́n fira wọn jẹ ambassador. Ó dìgbà tí mi bá kú la máa tó mọ̀ pé ṣé pẹ́ ní inú ambassador ni. Wàláì bọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ṣe rí nìyẹn. Ẹlòmíì lára sísítẹ́ẹ̀mù ni. Onígbà mi tó bá kú gọ́sẹ̀ ní àmọ́ akọ̀ máa sọ pé àkútúkú wọn dọ́rùn ni. Because crime scene tó wà Nàìjíríà, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ olóṣèlú, àwọn náà ṣe ní bá wa sọ pé a fẹ́ Yorùbá nation. Àwọn ni wọ́n ń pè ní socialite. Ẹ rí wọn, ó wà káàkiri. Weekend lọ́la nísìn wọ́n máa tẹ̀ sí gbogbo yín lójú. A tẹ̀ sí gbogbo everybody lójú pé yẹn lára ṣe ń wò pòkè. A ti gbìyànjú pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà. A tún ní pé kí gbogbo apá darapọ̀. Àwọn kan nínú ẹ lè sọ bá ṣe máa ṣe. So but mi mọ̀ pé lágbára Elédùmarè dúdùn ló yan sàn àbí báwo lẹ ti máa ń pòwó yan yan àgbàlagbà. So àwọn ò ní give up because right wa là ń jà fún. Àdẹ̀ wọlé lọ báyàn kankan jà ju pé ẹ̀tọ́ wa yìí ó ti di dandan pé ká gbà, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tẹ́nì kankan lè ṣe sí ẹ kàn máa larí mọ́ kíní lójoojúmọ́ ni. ní ẹ a gbọ́dọ̀ gẹ́tẹ̀ a gbọ́dọ̀ ní template wo lòyìnbó mú wá tó fi gba gbogbo heritage wa lọ́wọ́ wa. Template wo ni àwọn òyìnbó aláwọ̀ funfun ní? Fẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé I need the template. Ṣé nígbà tí British ń bọ̀ wọ́n mú template kankan wá tó fi kó wa lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ? Everybody nísìn, nígbà tí British tó dé, ta ni wọ́n sọ fún, ta ni wọ́n gbàṣẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ láàrin gbogbo wa pé a ti dé nísìnyí o? Ta ni British gba ọ̀ṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀? Ṣèbí wọ́n kàn dé lọ́sàn-án kan òru kan ni wọ́n kò bọ́n wọlé, wọ́n pa anybody dànù, wọ́n dẹ̀ kó gbogbo alẹ́rú. Ṣèbí nǹkan tó ṣe nìyẹn. Àtàwọn ọba wa kankan tí wọ́n tà wá lẹ́rú, àtàwọn individuals, because ṣé gbogbo àwọn tó tà wá lẹ́rú yẹn nísìn ṣé wọ́n sì wà láyé báyìí? Gbogbo wọn ti kùnà. Ṣé nígbà tí British dé, ta ni wọ́n negotiate pé gbogbo wa Yíbò, Yorùbá gbogbo ethnic groups tó bá nígbà tó dé, ta ni wọ́n sọ fún pé a máa kó gbogbo yín papọ̀, bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ̀, Nàìjíríà ni gbogbo yín yà á máa ṣe? Sábà wí tán ní sàn kan ní ká shut up, wọ́n ní ká lọ sọ fún àwọn leaders wa. Àwọn leaders criminals wo la fẹ́ lọ sọ fún? Àwọn leaders tó yẹ pé bá pariwo títí dọ̀la wọ̀ ní dáyé lò. Olúkálukú bá dẹ̀ ti rí jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà, táwọn kan bá ti rí business kékeré kan tán rí jẹ, Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́ náà nìyẹn. But in reality, everybody knows that the country is not working. In reality, àfi tá a bá ń parọ́ fúnra wa. Kí ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ nínú Nàìjíríà tá a fi proud of? Àwọn kan rí owó gidi nínú Nàìjíríà, àtọmọ Yorùbá, àtọmọ Ìgbò, àtọmọ Haúsá, either fraudulent or legally or whatever. But the question is, in the long run, ṣé a lè sustain láti remain as one country tí nepotism wà, subjugation wà, kò sí equity? Àbẹ́mọ̀ tó ń pè ní equity ni pé intan ṣe yìí ẹ jẹ́ kó dọ́gba, ẹ jẹ́ apín kínní kó dọ́gba, kí gbogbo ẹ̀ kó dọ́gba mọ́ra wọn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Nigeria is unsolvable because God never hand it. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa ti wà ní inú rally nísìn, àpé Koiki everywhere làwọn máa ti ń gbórí jáde. Rally ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, bọ́ lọ́la agbára Elédùmarè pàdé wa lógùn state ní interchange, níbẹ̀ láti máa gbórí jáde lọ́la lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ẹ jẹ́ ń ṣe cross posting, ok, ẹ jẹ́ lọ báyìí náà. À ń gbáradì fún Starr Radio ní ọmọ kan fi máa fún yín ní view rally tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní akí gbogbo àwọn leaders wa láì fẹ́ ní kankan sílẹ̀. Òun ní nísìn ní 21st century, ní 2022 àwọn èèyàn ṣì ń gún ọ̀kadà, wọ́n sọ̀kadà yẹn di ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ release audio yẹn díẹ̀ tí máa fi join studio. Dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun ní.
A journey we were looking at that. Banks ran out of new naira demand. So, until January, I think
Wait a minute, taking the one closer to your doorstep. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ti ṣe mọ̀ wípé ní ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation wípé Koiki Media wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo pátápátá àtẹ̀tí ẹ̀yìn olólùfẹ́ Koiki Media. A ti wà ní ìlú Ọ̀rẹ́ báyìí. Ìlú Ọ̀rẹ́ la wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Koiki Media wọ́n tún ti wà ní ìlú Ọ̀rẹ́ báyìí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Oǹdó fún mẹ́tàlá lèyí tí ó wáyé lọ́wọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀rẹ́. Ọjà Sábó ni a wà báyìí. Making me that bring it to what closer to your doorstep. Ọjà Sábó ní ìpínlẹ̀ Oǹdó ní ìlú Ọ̀rẹ́. Ìlú Ọ̀rẹ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Oǹdó ibẹ̀ ni a wà. Ní Òdùgbò local government ibẹ̀ ni a wà. Tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ rí wọ́n á ṣíbọ̀ bí máa mú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwọn náà ni àwọn òní ojú wòran yìí báyìí. A ti ń jẹ́ àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ àwọn Ọ̀rẹ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Oǹdó gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ wípé ọjà Ọ̀rẹ́ ní a wà, ọjà Sábó ní Ọ̀rẹ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Oǹdó pé ìpínlẹ̀ la wà. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ohun tí a ti jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ Koiki Media àwọn tó ti kúnlẹ̀ sí ibi bẹ̀ báyìí láti máa mú Yorùbá Nation wá sí ojú ọ̀rọ̀ yín. Lọ́wọ́ àdẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti bá àwọn ará Ọ̀rẹ́ wọ́n ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ Koiki Media bring it to work closer to your doorstep. Ó tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní wípé ó yẹ kí àwọn bàbá kan máa lo máìkì pé mọ́tò tí microphone wà ní inú rẹ̀ tí ẹ bá rí bí àwọn èrò bọ́ ṣe ìjàpò wá tí wọ́n sọ wípé àwọn fẹ́ kúrò ní oko ẹrú wípé àwọn ò sí ní oko ẹrú mọ́ wípé àwọn ti dúró tán fún Yorùbá Nation tí wọ́n sọ pé àwọn ti dúró tán goslo yìí ò ló pọ̀ tó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tí ò jẹ́ kí mọ́tò tí spíkà tí ó wà láti gbé kí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lóòótọ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ bá àwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ Koiki Media bring it to work closer to your doorstep. Èsì ìyá epo súnmọ́ ìgbẹ́ òun ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa tẹ̀.
lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ọ̀rọ̀ kí ọ̀rọ̀
àbí kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí o.
Tí ẹ bá rí ojú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí báyìí ẹni wípé bàbá Ajíbí máa mú pé wọ́n bá àwọn ìyá lọ́jà sọ̀rọ̀ àti kọ́dínétọ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀rẹ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Oǹdó State. Àwọn ni wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ bá tí wọ́n bá àwọn ìyá lọ́jà tí wọ́n bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí Yorùbá Nation. Koiki Media bring it to work closer to your doorstep. Yoruba nation. No going back. Yoruba nation. How can I come in? No, no, no. How?
Join Starr Radio nísìnyí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ lọ lọ́wọ́ báyìí ní ìpínlẹ̀ ní ìlú rẹ̀ ní òdìbò lókùn gọbẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ibẹ̀ la wà. Making me that making the work closer to your doorstep.
We need to join Archie for the morning program. Now let's enjoy the Starr Radio UK morning show. Shilana, because we were a bit busy yesterday, but we are back again this morning. So let us enjoy the update from the shit hole country called Nigeria. Good morning once again. Okay, let's give them a few more minutes. As we continue to tell our people back home, kò sí nǹkan tó ń dá wa dúró mọ́ nísìnyí o, kò dẹ̀ sí any excuse àti sọ pé a fẹ́ òmìnira, and it is now entirely for us to do the needful. So nígbà tá a ti sọ pé a fẹ́ òmìnira, ó ti di dandan ká make use of it. Kò ń ṣe tí a kàn máa pariwo nìkan lórí social media. Encourage gbogbo àwọn èèyàn yín kó pàdé wa ní Ogun State látọ̀la lọ, níbi tí àríyá máa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní pẹrẹwu. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ débẹ̀ lénìí, tí wọ́n bá níbi tí wọ́n fẹ́ dé sí. We have 3 million people in Ogun State, so we expect as many people in Ogun State to come out if they are tired of the government of the day. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn wà tired, a jẹ́ pé ìyà yẹn kò jẹ wọ́n dáadáa, so they are probably happy with their criminals. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe máa wo signal lọ láti bí báyìí. Signal tí kan náà media wà yẹn in and out, but ìkan wà okay. So sí ọ̀kan tó ń bọ̀ wá gbá yẹn kankan lẹ́ ọ. Ìyàgbọ́n kan táwọn ìyá yìí sọ. Mo dúró de Achiko jókòó sórí chair.
Gbogbo ara la fi sí ọmọ sí. Ọ̀sà bàbá. Ọ̀sà. 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 Ọ̀sà.
Ṣé ẹ dáwọ̀ ìyá lọ́jà wọ́n láwọn ọkọ̀ wá oko ẹrú wọn ẹrú báyìí flag wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọ́n lè ju flag àti Yorùbá nation lẹ́ni lọ́wọ́ wọn tí wọ́n jù. Ṣé ti rí báyìí? Make me not begin to work closer to your doorstep.
Tìrí gbọ́sà. Gbọ́sà. Gbọ́sà.
Ìjọba ìjẹ́lé ohun méjì mẹ́ta yìí tí ẹ fẹ́ bá àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ìjẹ́ ní ohun méjì mẹ́ta tí ẹ fẹ́ bá wọn sọ nílé lóko ní ìrìn àjò.
Ojú ọ̀tá fẹ́ bá wọn sọ sí pé ọmọ Yorùbá la dìbò fún orí kó wà ń bẹ̀.
Ẹjọ́ mà á tún fẹ́ bí yín lẹ́rẹ̀ ìbéèrè méjì mẹ́ta kan ní ọwọ́ yín bóyá ẹ máa lábàárí láti dá wa lóhùn. Ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà èyí tí a wà ẹjọ́ mà ẹjọ́ ẹjẹ́ lè sọ pàtó ohun àǹfààní èyí tí ẹ ní rí ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ẹjẹ́ lè sọ pàtó ohun tí ẹ rí tí ó jẹ́ àǹfààní fún yín tí ìjọba Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ṣe fún yín pàápàá jùlọ ní ìlú tí a wà yìí.
Kò sí ìkẹ́kẹ́ tó ṣe fún wa o. Ìjà ló fi jẹ́ àwọn àti ẹ̀rí. Akẹ́kẹ́ bèrè ọ̀yà.
Ẹjọ́ ẹni wá orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá àbí.
Ẹ má bínú, Archie's back now, and we need to crack on because we're 7 minutes already.
Top, the man himself, Mr. Olaimi Koike, who will be joining in from the North London studios to bring you what is making the rounds in Nigeria this morning. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Also, Sharia court sentences Kano cleric to death by handling for blasphemy. And we talk about this, that we are living in a country where the constitution works. Wow. I know some will be saying yes, others will be saying no. But if we are, then what is exactly going on? But it's my singular honor to welcome once again the White Lion himself, Mr. Olayomi Koike. Yomi, massive good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good afternoon.
No sound, Yomi, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Just bear with us whilst we get Mr. Olayomi's sound to come through, because he's also broadcasting on about 5 or 6 other platforms. So just bear with us. Just bear with us.
Can you hear me now?
Hello, Yomi.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
You are at work. So on your smartphone.
Yes, Yomi.
Can you hear me now?
No, it came and then went again.
Now?
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you now.
Well, a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners in Europe, in UK here, but it is good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers in Nigeria.
Okay. How have you been?
A little bit of rest as usual. Quite a lot to continue to appreciate when you are alive. That is the most important thing. I'm doing very well. I'm not sure whether a lot of people in Nigeria are doing very well, especially with so much news that sometimes could be a little bit battling. But we are doing very well, and I hope you are doing as good as well.
Oh, yes, doing very, very well. And let me once again apologize to our listeners for not being bringing you a live program yesterday, because we had to attend to some, we had to get some technical upgrades going on, and therefore we couldn't do so. But hey, we are here today. So let's start from last Wednesday's Niger Voices, where the big announcement was made now as to when the rally was going to take place. Now, what has been the response? Before we come to Bamishe's story as well. Over to you.
Well, you're quite right. As usual, Niger Voices, is a program that comes up every Wednesday right here on Star Radio UK and has been going on for almost 5 years now. And this is where we discuss issues affecting Nigerians, the diaspora Nigerians, and also those of us that have now questioned the Nigerianness as against Obasanjo, the former president, that says easy, one Nigeria, and he has shed his blood. So what we discussed over the Wednesday was coming from the breaking news that came, 24 hours prior to Niger Voices, that has now come up to the super rally that will be coming up tomorrow from Ogun State. Still a lot of things that needs to be said around it, because the expectation was this rally will kickstart at almost all the states simultaneously, but that is not what is going to be happening. But tomorrow the rally kickstart from Ogun State, and then that will activate all other states with further instruction. And we were also privileged, to have, the one and only, Dr. Sunday Igbowo that spoke to us, on Star Radio UK at his very, very tight schedule. So if you've missed that particular episode of the Niger Voices, why not turn back to Star Radio UK social media handles, or the YouTube, the Facebook, and likewise on Twitter. But the most important way, check it on our podcast, and you'll be able to listen to that. It was a fantastic show, but also there has been a lot of reaction to some of those of us that are also in the movement that disagree with the super rally.
Okay, we'll be coming to that. I just wanted to give you a heads up on some of the issues that we're going to be discussing, because the latter part of the program we will be looking at that and the reaction that has come from the governor, the government itself, if any. But wherever you are, still keep your dial so long on Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, Bamishe was finally laid to rest, made cheers and from family, friends, and loved ones. Now, what has been the reaction from the state, that Lagos State itself? I mean, were there any representatives on the ground to actually mourn with their family, with everything that happened?
We just actually got the live broadcast that was just ended with our reporter, Star Radio UK, and our sister broadcaster on the ground. There's no evidence of any representative from Lagos State that I am aware of, but it was all tears, in the eyes of the family of Bamishe Anyanwola Abigail. She is 22 years old. Again, part of the crime that happen around the world, but also can be prevented if what we call the CRB has been checked on some of those that are employed, that would have to be, working in the public, domain. I mean, if you're going to be working on a bus system here, you would have to be verified, CRB checked, to make sure that you don't have any criminal background. But that was something that did happen on the bus rapid transport that eventually Bamishe boarded in February, and then the driver plus another vehicle behind that particular BRT bus, as is known in Lagos State, eventually raped her, removed some part out of the body. The body was dumped openly in an open way in Lagos State, where the body was eventually deposited somewhere until the family, realized that she had a video, and that video was actually done in a particular bus. And it is not the local bus that you will board. This is a bus that belongs to the Lagos State government. The Lagos State government have still not been able, to give reasons why, the case is being delayed, because we have been following the case by going to the court, with the family. But as we speak right now, the BRT driver that works on behalf of the Lagos State, Andrew Ominikron, is facing count of conspiracy, rape, and murder over Anyanwola's death. The bossman was said to be the one conveying, Anyanwola from Oshodi, when Oluwabamiche observed that he refused to pick other passengers, and that flagged up. She knew something was wrong, but she was also in the video clip that she did and sent to her friend not to raise any alarm so that the family do not get panic. Only if she has said, raise that alarm, maybe that could have flagged up. She has now been eventually put to rest, but the family, which we have been able to speak to the family on the ground frequently, continue to say justice must now be served, even though Bamishi has finally been put to rest in Acton Cemetery with a lot of cries, with the children in there. 22 years of Bamishi has now left us, but the family continue to fight for justice.
Well, listeners, a very sad one, but we say once again, may her soul rest in perfect peace, and to the family, our condolences as well. But I mean, it's all to say that this is not only peculiar to Nigeria, but there are things that do happen in other parts of the world. Here we have police officers 7 police officers who have gone on to rape and cut all things. But at least if some diligence was done whilst these people were being employed, we would have seen that, okay, we could get rid of them or bring it to a minimum. But that wasn't done, and this young lady lost her life. Okay, but let me say good morning to Pastor Momo. Hey, how are you doing? Say good day to you both. May Bamishi so rest in perfect peace. Nigeria must stop the killings of innocent citizens. Thank you very much. Now, you have any comments? Feel free. Just post it on any of the social media handles, and I promise you one thing for sure. I'm going to acknowledge you. But this one coming your way from Starr Radio, okay? Your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, I made 40,000 daily. Big LASMA of the officer saying the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority on Thursday confirmed the arrest of a fake traffic officer, David Oluchukwu, in the Lekki area of the state. Well, people can say that snake has swallowed big sums of money. Somebody is also trying to look for you want me to tell us more about that?
Well, we've seen fake lawyers, and it can only happen probably not only in Africa, but most important Nigeria. I mean, there was one time the fake lawyer has attended a lot of court cases only for someone to flag him up at some point, whether he was actually qualified, and I'm not sure whether they will have to review some of the cases that he has done. This particular fake traffic officer, I mean, it's something that we've seen a lot, fake military personnel, fake naval officer. As long as you are able to get that uniform, nobody cross-check with you, especially if you're out there in the public domain and doing exactly what the other officers are doing. And especially if you're able to do it where the other officers are not there, then you are likely to get away with it. But the agency director of public affairs, Taufik Adebayo, in a statement said the general manager of LASMA, Bolaji, confirmed that the suspect was actually nabbed by one of their patrol team monitoring and controlling traffic around Lekki axis. Adebayo said preliminary investigation conducted by the agency revealed that the arrested suspect belonged to a criminal gang, and they have been extorting huge sums of money from the innocent motorists apprehended for various traffic offenses. And one thing in Nigeria is if any traffic officer stop you, you always try to, for those that are living in Nigeria, also bribe your way out, because when it gets to their office, you probably end up playing double. So that means he has been able to get away for this crime until he has now been picked up. And he was making a good money at about 40,000 naira daily. And I'm not sure he would have loved to stop it. But now that he has been caught, he will be facing a lot on his head.
Wow, interesting. Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:20. It is a Friday edition of the morning show. We know people are preparing and being also to get themselves ready for this festive occasion. Okay, but the federal government, states and local governments have shared 902 billion naira in November. That's what the FAAC is saying. Now, can you throw more light on that for us, please? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Starr UK, once again, it is the morning show, the edition that brings you all the news headline from Nigeria as we review the dailies. The local government in Nigeria is about 774. But the question a lot of Nigerians have asked is, why have we not been able to see, the value, to making them active? Not that they are not getting, the money. And this is why, somebody like Atiku was saying in one of his conversation on Sunday that autonomy will be given back, to the local government, because it seems that the state governors tend to collect, the revenue coming from the federal government to the local government. 902 billion naira, was shared to 774 local government. And this is actually coming from the SS crude account, as the balance as of December also stand at 473 million US dollars. The Federation Account Allocation Committee says 902 billion was shared with the 3,000 governors as federal allocation in November. This is contained in a statement issued by Philip, as the spokesman for the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. From the 902 billion, the federal government received 358 billion and the state received 270 billion. Yet the local government also got 204 billion. But each time the money goes through to the local government, it has to go through to the governors, and the governors decide whether to release that money or not. And that is why each of the local government chairmen are always looking for one diaspora or one philanthropist just to make a project work in each of their local government. If I go to my local government somewhere in Ijebu, I'm not sure there is any existence of the local government. And these are so many reasons why development, poverty continue to be one of the major obstacles, where as of today, 133 million Nigerians are inside those we can categorize as living under abject poverty, according to the United Nations.
Well, listeners, it is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And so moving on, looking at some of the other stories making the rounds. The one other story making the rounds, the Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, has disclosed that tackling fuel subsidy and foreign exchange challenges to reposition Nigeria's economy to the next trajectory may cost Nigeria next president a second term. So he's saying that whoever wins, if they come to power, because if you have to take the subsidy away, that means that people are going to pay the real prices or for the real cost of the fuel. So that will make them unpopular. But for all these years, Nigeria being how many? Number 5 when it comes to crude oil production. And so I asked myself the question: can Nigeria be a place where government doesn't need to subsidize because if the product is from them and their refinery and everything is going on, and that will stay? But what El-Rufai is saying there, how do you see it?
Well, according to Kingsley, it says a lawless country. Is Nigeria a lawless country? Or have we not been able to use, these resources, these natural resources that would have benefited a lot of Nigerians? What may cost the next presidential re-election? So it seems that El-Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State, where there's so much killings going on under his nose, but he was one of those that answered the security question on behalf of Emilokan here in London, which when Tinubu was there some few weeks back. He actually had to give jam question to be answered by some of the students that came with him. The Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai was disclosing that tackling fuel subsidy and the foreign exchange this morning, we're looking at 912 naira to a pound, and also about 800 to 850 to $1. That is a staggering amount of money, and that literally means that the foreign exchange that the APC government made, at about almost 158 has shoot up, and that also means the inflation and more challenges. So it now seems that he's already probably concerned that the chances of them being re-elected or should any other party be re-elected, as if election will hold in the next couple of days, is another question that we have to, look into. But despite that, the governor explained that the country needs such a leader that could rise beyond consideration of office and take painful but necessary decisions to ensure the country develop its economy. El-Rufai made this known during a panel discussion at the launch of the World Bank Nigerian Development Update and Country Economy Memorandum on Thursday in Abuja. We know that the president is still in U.S., where he has met with the president of America, Joe Biden, with other African leaders. And I believe, looking at the figure that also is coming out as about almost 55 billion US dollars between all the African countries. I also saw, Buhari watching football, with Joe Biden. But going back to the problem in Nigeria, in the next 60 days, every Nigerian will decide what part they really want to be part of, whether those that still believe in an election or those that are ready to be part of those that want the right to self-determination. But according to him, the right policies, decisions will remove the word potential from Nigeria vocabulary, and Nigeria will finally be the country we deserve to be.
Well, when Nigeria be the country that it has to be, well, you want to know more? Wait for us, because lots more is going to be coming your way. When the election hold or two, that's the questions that people are asking. When people are so desperate. And we're talking about a constitution that says this constitution governs the whole of Nigeria. However, there are some places that they think that they have a law, or they are a law to themselves, and therefore do things differently. And this pertains to the Sharia court that has sentenced a kind of cleric to death by hanging. In the next 60 days, every Nigerian will still.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. The Sharia court sentencing a kind of cleric to death by hanging for blasphemy. What did this person say and why? I mean, we're talking about they're living in the same country, governed or ruled by one constitution. Now, how can a court decide, a Sharia court decide to act that way?
Well, when you look at the present situation in Nigeria, the question is, are we running two different countries? The answer is definitely yes. I mean, in the northern part of the country, the Sharia law seems to be used more compared to, the southwest and the southeast, where we use more of the normal, law, under the constitution. So in Kano, you are likely to be used, to get what we call the Sharia sentence, or, as we saw there, blaspheming the Kano cleric to death by hanging, according to the Sharia court. The defendant was actually arraigned last year, July, by the Kano state government on 4-count child bordering on blasphemous comment against Prophet Muhammad, according to the Kano state government. But the question is, why the Sharia law? Why not the normal, law of Nigeria? These are also the nepotism, the subjugation, the equity, the justice that is not there. But the presiding judge, Ibrahim Sakayola, in 4-hour judgment yesterday, said the prosecution had proved the case beyond reasonable doubt. Sakayola, sentenced the defendant to death by hanging for making blasphemous comment against Prophet Muhammad.
Well, what do you think about everything that is happening in Nigeria? You want to know more? Continue to listen to us on Starr Radio. You can follow all the programs that we bring your way from Nigeria, especially the Wednesday and the Wednesdays evenings, where we bring you the Niger voices. It goes into details, everything that you need to know when it comes to Nigeria. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Olabunle says, I greet everyone on here, and he continues to say, all those involved in Bamishi's death won't go unpunished. Of course, they wouldn't go unpunished. But you want to know more? Stay tuned. Yomi, over to you with the rest of the stories and what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you.
Thank you so much. At just 30 minutes past 11 p.m. To my right hand side on the screen, there is again ongoing awareness and campaign in Ondo State, where the Yoruba nation continue, to tell, those communities within the particular local government reason why, going into 2023 is not viable for us. Also with them is the chief imam of the Yoruba land, where he's also going to be making his way from there, I believe, to Ogun State, where tomorrow the whole super rally will kickstart from Ogun State. But looking at the business in Nigeria, banks run out of naira, demand soar. Remember that we've seen the new domination that has been released, but it seems that something is definitely not going according to plan. Mixed reaction greeted the disbursement of the new naira note that officially went into circulation yesterday, with many bank customers demanding for the new note, while few others snubbed the latest bills in banking all across the major Nigerian city. The newly redesigned 1,000 naira and the 500 naira and the 200 naira bill that we've discussed in the last couple of weeks back is now in circulation. This was actually unveiled at the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting a few weeks back. But the CBN governor on October 26 announced a plan to redesign 200 naira, 500 and a 1,000 naira note, while also declaring that the old dominations will cease to be a legal tender by January 2022. So I hope that the one I have will probably be something that will still be of value. If otherwise, it will still be part of where we can tell those when we get into what will no longer be Nigeria, that this used to be the currency. I would like to see what they used to spend in the Soviet Union prior to the dissolution of the Soviet Union and the Yugoslavia as well. So that is the reason why now there is not a much problem, but as the Christmas is getting closer, currency in circulation is now in high demand. Probably maybe some of the Nigerians are trying to pay the terrorists that are now saying that they probably won't be taking naira. They might be exchanging that for safer, the Beninese payment as well. Sanwo-Olu launches sensible Lagos lab to boost innovation. It needs to look into the crime against humanity, as Bamishe has been buried. We'll take one more. End forced smuggling. Oil workers tell federal government. This is one of the biggest, again, crime scene in Nigeria, where, as you said earlier, it is actually Nigeria is number 6 in the world when it comes to, the world, the 6th largest crude oil. We are not producing, but we have it in large quantity, but we rather send the production to be produced in UK and other countries around the globe, and that gives those countries more opportunity. The federal government and the operators in the downstream oil sectors are all culpable for the nationwide prolonged scarcity of the premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol. Yesterday, in Oyo State, Ibadan precisely, so many lives lost, building burnt down, and the reason for that is a fuel tanker, probably because of the bad road, tripped over all the liquid inside it, explosion. It took 4 hours before they were able to bring it under control, and this morning the damages has gone into millions. But there was a particular video that was going on, and the individual behind was saying, why was the NNPC depot was shut down in your state that could have support the system rather than bringing it. So it seems again quite a lot of uncertainty when it comes to what should have been the best for Nigeria when it comes to the crude oil. So Pegasus, a major union in the oil sector, also stated that operators were looking for ways to hike the cost of the petrol, but stressed that this will be opposed by the union. So as more Nigerians are saying, what is the benefit of having these produce natural resources, but doesn't seem to be of any useful. The second Niger bridge have now officially been opened since yesterday till 15th of January to ease traffic during the Christmas period, according to the federal government. So let's take a look at why President Muhammadu Buhari is already trending at 35,000 this morning tweet. Let's quickly have a look at that. December 2014, Igbo presidency only possible after Buhari's 8 years. December 2022, I am stepping stone to Igbo presidency. And is this kind of lies particular to this particular tribe or what? Okay, I got the message now. So in this particular, when Buhari was coming, they've gone back to bring, the report in 2015, December 7, and the headline then was Igbo presidency only possible after Buhari's 8-year APC chieftaincies. But again, Atiku in 2022, yesterday, 2023, I am stepping stone to Igbo presidency. Mr. Atiku promised to revive industries in the southeast and also promised to dredge the river Niger to boost economic activities in the region. So this Twitter handle is now asking, is this kind of lies particular to this particular tribe or what, with a question mark? So let's see more why the president is trending. And I think somebody took a picture with President Muhammadu Buhari, not sure who. Let's see more. Again, not a lot, but this morning, again, in Biafra land, in Aba, protest is going on for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I was asking this question yesterday. Should Nnamdi Kanu not be released before the election? What will be the situation in the southeast part? And I can see mothers, and more of women alone here, all in the thousands, asking for the president to release Nnamdi Kanu since the court have acquitted him. But the president himself will be 80 years old, tomorrow. President Muhammadu Buhari will clock 80 tomorrow, Saturday, 17th. He's still in America. We're expecting him back in the country on the 18th, according to his media aide. And that is how far this morning. I will come back to you, Mr. Archie. We can then finish up the Friday edition of the morning show. But right now, in my screen, quite a lot of engagement in the market, where the chief imam, the teams there continue to take the Yoruba Nation awareness into Ondo State.
Well, listeners, Starr Radio, okay? It's a line because in our Northland studios, I'm actually here in the South Studios. But let me read a bit of the comments and then I'll come to your media. We will run out there. Now, Pastor Momo says the problem with Nigeria is that if the wicked are ruling the nation, sin will be everywhere. But Apunle says we can't continue like this, and we Yorubas must have our nation. We are sick and tired of all the injustice going on in the British company called Nigeria. Now, Pastor Momo also continues that the ruling class politicians and even the religious groups are not helping matters. General outrage is the only solution. And then Olakule comes on to say, tomorrow the 17th of December marks the beginning of the last dance, and it will be the beginning of the end of the forceful marriage by Lord Lugar. Pastor Momo continues, yes, everyone needs to go back to their region. We call for Yoruba nation. And he says, yes, and Pastor Momo says, let him get lost. Which birthday? And he's talking about the president, his 80th birthday. But he's talking his 80th. Now, what about that? Well, listen, let's start ready again. Now, you know what I mean? The super rally. Now, so how is it going to be like? I mean, how is that dress? How is it going to be like? Can you give us some sneak view for those of us who will not be able to get there on the ground? How it's going to feel like, and how we can also get involved in it?
Well, 10 o'clock interchange in Ogun State is where everybody will assemble to then move, the rally, to start tomorrow. So the whole plan from the organizer and the instruction is, there will be people who will be coming down. They were expecting, a large turnout, and then that will then kickstart, stay there, for the couple of days. But in the next 5 days, Oyo State will then activate. But the Ogun State, which starts tomorrow, is expected to hold the ground, and then all other states will eventually kick in as well. So more instruction, for so many other reasons, are not given out until tomorrow, where we'll be giving more other details. But for now, the organizers are all, gearing up. More people will be traveling, from other states because of the distance. Yes, a lot of people have actually asked, why, the whole state haven't activated rather than one particular state. But like they said, you don't put all your egg in one basket, but definitely all other states would eventually be activated, at the appropriate time, which is not going to be a very long time before the end of this month.
Okay, listeners, that is for your information, especially those of you are listening to us from Nigeria who are going to be on the ground. I've said it and say it several times that if you believe in the cause, you're convicted about it, you have to stand for it. Listen, at times you might lose your life or lose your property because of that. But remember that maybe your children or your children's children or posterity will be the one who will be the judge of it all. That, well, he fought or stood for a good cause. What about that? So, Yomi, before we go,
Well, stay tuned with Mr. Archie to take you through the rest of the segment. Definitely, I will be back over the weekend, with more updates on all other platforms that we are on. But I'll be back with the team again on Monday morning, where we continue the update coming out of Nigeria. But for now, I say have a very good morning and a very good afternoon, and stay tuned for more news from Mr. Archie. Bye for now.
Wow. Have a lovely weekend. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Olabiko Ike bringing you updates from Nigeria. This is Starr.
Okay, so let me cross to the signal is not very good, but we can manage it.
Next step
I'm not switching the CC software so that I can do some other things behind the scene.
Ìbá kọ́dá, ìbá ṣẹ̀dá, ìbá pẹ̀lú, tó ṣe máa pẹ̀lú, ìdájọ́ ara fi nílẹ̀ tí a mọ̀ lọ lọ́wọ́ kàjọ ọ̀rọ̀. God bless you. Bless you, God. Thank you very much. Ìyálọ́jà wa o, ìyálọ́jà ọkọ̀ rẹ̀ land, àwọn ni ẹ wò tí wọ́n sì wá dé àwọn gbogbo ọjà ọ̀rẹ́ sí nínú ọjà sábó àtúgbọ́láwọ́ ayé
Some switching sí orí software ká lè rí ká lè ṣe nǹkan míì. Because there's a need another very good system here. Okay, it's in my run in the background. It's running that clock and I got it this thing. We need a lot of things operating.
Making me that making the work closer to your doorstep. Láti wà ní ìlú ọ̀rẹ́ láti wà. Ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo, ibẹ̀ láti wà báyìí, àti kúrò ní ìlú ọ̀rẹ́. Tí ẹ bá wojú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí báyìí, láwọn wo ní wá, ẹni bá máa ṣe jó, pẹ̀lú fúláàgì Yorùbá nation. Making it that making the work closer to your doorstep. Gbogbo tá à ń ṣe yìí kò ní ìwọ. A máa switch yín nísìnyí o, so ká lọ pàdé lórí software so that kí a lè ṣe other things ní background. All right, so ẹ lọ join wa lórí software. Thank you.